Hey mommies, how are you? I hope that everyone is doing awesome. And I wanted to bring this video today because it's something that I get asked a lot, and it's something that I really struggle to kind of like come to terms with at the beginning of my breastfeeding journey. And I see a lot of, especially new moms, struggle with this because as a new mom, you're always worried, well, before you even have a baby, you're always worried that you're not going to be able to have enough milk supply for your baby, so you're going to have to supplement or something like that. You're always kind of questioning your body if your body's going to be able to provide everything that your baby needs. And how do you know if your baby's getting enough? And how do I know if my body's making enough milk? And you kind of want to visualize it or see, like, okay, I'm making enough. I can technically see how much, like if we could have one of those cameras that can kind of see through your body. So you want to just kind of see through your breast to see exactly how much milk there's there. Well, I want to tell you, it doesn't work that way. You don't need to technically know exactly how much milk you have, because your body, especially at the beginning, those first 40 days of breastfeeding, what it's going to do is going to auto-regulate. So it's going to be a relationship between your baby and your body, basically, and it's a demand and supply relationship where your body is going to be able to read your baby's feeding cues and kind of understand how much your baby needs to be able to thrive. And obviously that will adjust during certain times too, when your baby's going through a growth spur or something like that, because your baby's demanding more milk, your body knows to make more milk. And the same way, if you had, for example, twins, your body would know that it needs to make a lot more milk because it's going to be feeding 2 babies or 3 babies or whatever it may be. But your your body technically is able to produce milk for like 2 babies, even 3 babies, 4 and 5, 6 babies. I wouldn't know really, but it definitely can produce for like 2 babies very, very well. And there's lots of moms that exclusively breastfeed their twins, and they're very, very successful. But the problem really is with us as moms, and it's very normal to feel like that, because as a new mom, you naturally have this instinct that develops within you, which is to protect and to provide for your baby and to love your baby. And obviously we know how much we love our babies, we protect our babies, but provide for our babies the nourishment that they need, that's something that we technically don't control. Our body is the one that's controlling that. So it's very hard for us control freaks to be able to understand that. So one of the traps that we get into is our pump, and I have some milk here so you can see. So we love to pump. So I used to be one that I would actually like to pump. I mean, not just that I could store, but also to kind of reassure myself that I had enough milk. So when I would see something like, for example, here where there's like 3 ounces of milk, I'd be like, oh, is that it? You know, it's like first thing in the morning, before the first feed, I should have so much more milk. What's going on? So I would be kind of like down on myself. And what I kind of started to learn about with all my breastfeeding journey and all the countless hours that I did of research and talking with other moms and with lactation consultants and stuff like that, and really digging deep into this matter, is that actually your output from your pump has nothing to do with what you actually store in your breast. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Because your pump can only bring out of your breast about 30% of the supply that you have in your breast. Your baby is a way more effective pump and has way more effective suction. They have a perfect suction basically. And so if you think that you just pump 3 ounces of milk, technically you still have another 7 ounces of milk in that breast. So it's like way more than double what you actually have in your breast. And also you don't ever fully drain your breasts. So your breast milk, there's always going to be breast milk there, because it might have been that you fed your baby and 10 minutes later he wants to feed again. Or like I said, maybe they're going through a growth spur, so your body's going to have to continuously be making milk. So your breast also retains like a little bit of a reserve, so that if you need to breastfeed your baby quickly again, there's going to be supply there too. So I just really, really want to stress that point. Your output of milk from like a pump has nothing to do with the supply that you have. So don't be thinking like, oh, I only can pump 3 ounces, so I have low milk supply. Do not think that at all. Also, your output can be determined by a lot of different things, like maybe what you had to eat that day. Maybe what you had to eat that day had galacticose. So you have extra milk, that you're producing extra milk in those last few hours, or maybe you went through something really stressful, so your milk production goes down, or maybe you're on your period, so your milk production goes down. Everything that, you know, there's a lot of things that determine how much your body's able to make breast milk, and it's very much also affected by hormones and things like that. So don't think that what you just pumped is the supply that you have, or label your supply as a, you know, a low milk supply or something like that. And especially if you're a new mom too, remember, as a new mom, your body's getting the hang of breastfeeding, getting the hang of making milk. It hasn't done that before. Just like the first time that you rode a bike, you know, you weren't like cruising and jumping around and doing tricks and stuff. You know, it took a few times for you to get the hang of it and be able to feel comfortable. And it's the same thing with milk production. After you have a second baby, a third, a fourth, a fifth baby, you'll be a way better milk producer. So don't think that if you're kind of struggling with producing milk or milk supply right now, that it's going to be an issue later down the road. You will get better at it. And do not label it because of the fact of how many ounces you get from the pump. It has nothing to do with it. And also depends on the type of pump that you have. If you have an old pump, if some pump parts may need, like your pump may need maintenance, or it might need to replace some parts, like your you know, something as small as this little suction thing that goes on the insert part of it, or maybe the tubes, you know, so many different things. But I just want to let you know that it does not determine your milk supply, okay? Your milk supply is completely different, and the only thing that can truly like draw your milk fully and not even completely drain your breast, because like I said, there's always going to be a reserve, is your baby, okay? And if your baby, don't focus so much on this and what's coming out, focus on your baby. How does your baby respond? Is he alert? Is he happy? Is he like constantly putting his hands in his mouth? Does he look relaxed? Is he peeping and pooping enough? So look more at those signs in regards to seeing if you have a healthy milk supply than looking at what you just pumped, okay? Thank you, mommies. Bye.